So just checking out the gelatine prosthetic from Nimber Creations against his face and the size and the fit. And I decided not to use a chin piece, obviously, because of his beard. And I'm using Silky from Neil Gorton Materials. I put it on the skin and also on the prosthetic. But I focused more on the centre of the prosthetic, so working from the nose and eyes outwards. And then I was adding the glue as I was going along on the outer edges. So the piece wasn't obviously made for him, so it was quite big. Didn't fit his face shape, so I was trying to just work with what I had. So I decided to cut that area you can see due to his beard. Otherwise it was just overhanging, and I've decided to later on add hair to hide this edge. It was quite big around the top lip area as well. We had to keep manipulating that. So going around the edge with witch hazel, I can blend away the gelatine edges. And then, as usual, I go around the edge using Prosade, but the Prosade's been out for a bit, so it's kind of getting a bit thick, which I really enjoy using it like that. So near the head, it does lift up a little bit, some air bubbles, so I had to keep pressing it down flat. And then I could do the process around the eyes as well, just to try and get the best blend. While that's drying, I do give him a hair dryer and he can start drying it, and I could just start attaching some extensions to the hair. I'll just do this roughly. It wasn't meant to be a neat look. So now that that's dry, I went over with some face powder to take away the sticky edge, dusting it off. And then I go in with a Kryolan fixing spray just to take away the residue. So now I'm using a bruise tone colour, and this is from Dashbow. I'm just starting to bring the contours of the prosthetic out. I'm using my brush to go in any really deep fine creases with the same colour. And then colouring in around the eye area too. So then same again, I'm just adding more of that tone, just to bring out as much of the wrinkles and creasing as possible. And then now I'm going in with a vein tone shade, so a blue tone over the similar areas, just to give it more depth and more contour shade. And then I start splashing on some of the blue as well. Just using a bristle brush that's been cut down a little bit. And I splatter it as much as I feel it needs. And then I can dry in between each layer as well. That helps it obviously dry quicker. And because the hubby is not used to having makeup done, it can feel a lot in his face. So I've just gone over with another shade. I think I went over with yellow next, which was a Temper 2 shade, prime yellow or olive yellow. And I'm just doing the same thing, splattering over. And then I go in with a more skin tone shade. His skin tone is quite tanned. And then I continue with a brown. So to try and create the kind of speckling, natural tones that occur in skin. And yeah, I also went over with some like a white skin tone as well, like a more paler white. I think it's called Ghastly from the Necromania palette, but it was actually a liquid form. And that one, I'm just going over it with kind of an orange tone. And then this one, I'm just stippling on the olive adjuster. So applying some Prosade to the edge that you can see. I start using some hair, which I cut so it's blunt, and then I spread over the edge. Just trying to hide that horrible edge. Then I decided to just tie it together to make a feature style of it. And then I go along the edge with some black airbrush as well, just to help blend it more. And then around the hairline, just to make it look fuller. So using a tattoo transfer, this is just from eBay. This was left over from my wedding that I didn't use. And these are really good, to be fair. Not professional enough for like TV or film or anything, but they're good for something like this. And then I'll just go over some of his other tattoos, because I did go a bit of brown and pale on his chest, and it took away his tattoo colours, because obviously the other one is so vibrant. I wanted to try and bring these out a little bit. I didn't want to spend too long on this. It was quite late, so, and it was literally going to wash it off straight after. There's no point doing it really perfect when it's just for fun videos like this. If it was for a client, or obviously TV, film or anything, obviously I'd have spent more time in making all the body art like amazing. So yeah, just using it on his head tattoos as well, and around the mouth. Just tried to make a feature near the mouth, just to block that out, just to try and hide that edging as well. And now doing any touch-ups around the eyes and anywhere that needs it. So then I decided to kind of do some kind of tribal lines, warrior lines, almost as if it is his skin and not necessarily just like a face paint on a character. I wanted to drag it down into the hair and into the beard as well. It's kind of a beautiful metallic blue from Temp 2. So I'm just making some spots in it, just so there's some darker and lighter areas. We decided to just do it on one eye rather than two, just so it gave it some kind of area to look at, rather than having to be too symmetrical. So then finishing in with some black treacle mixed with black food colouring, just for some mouth effects. We did try and get contact lenses in Viking's eyes, but they wouldn't work. His eyes are so small. If you ever wanted contact lenses, you definitely have to have them made. So the edging around the top of the head, I found went really well. But obviously around the beard area it was difficult because of his beard. And to be honest, with the latexes, I didn't pay too much attention to them, so the blend on them isn't very good. But oh yeah, and then to finish, we added some blood, some aged blood, and like a blood spray that I had, just for two different colour tones, just to see what it looked like as if he'd just been obviously in a battle or war or murder spree. But yeah, he literally washed it straight off after. So for the purpose of this video and images, it